For the cheesecake, first step is to spray your pan. Spray it on the edges as well as the bottom. Next step is to get your graham crackers, place them into a Ziploc bag or plastic wrap. Leave the bag open and crush them. Add the crushed graham crackers into a bowl along with the sugar and the butter. Mix it up. Place the graham crackers into your pan and just give it a shake, and then you can begin to press down with using your measuring cup. So press down really good, and then you're going to place this in a 350-degree oven anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes. While the crust is cooking or baking, go ahead and start making your cheesecake filling. Get your 5 eggs into a bowl separately and mix it up. For the cheesecake filling, add your cream cheese. And then turn it on and get that going. You want to go ahead and use your paddle attachment for this, and then you want to make sure that it is nice and smooth before you add your sugar. And add your sugar. Next thing you're going to add is your sour cream. Scrape your bowl, turn it back on, and then begin adding your eggs a little at a time. And finally add your heavy cream. And your vanilla. And then you want to finally just give it a nice little whisk. Make sure you break down any other little pieces. This is what your graham crackers should look like. Should be lightly browned, and then it should be nice and firm. Then you're going to add your cheesecake into the pan. Make sure you get all of it. Okay, so you want to lower your oven to 275 degrees Fahrenheit. And one very important step you're going to do is you're going to place it on a half sheet pan and place some water into that pan. What this will do is it'll prevent your cheesecake from cracking. It'll create a moisture in the oven and keeping it from drying out. Fill it up at least halfway, and you do need to monitor it. Low temperature 275. If you go any higher, then your water evaporates, and then if it evaporates, then it's going to begin to crack. 275, anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. Okay, for the raspberry sauce, you're going to add your water. And your sugar. And you're going to make a simple syrup. Once your syrup is cleared, then add your raspberries to it, your frozen raspberries. Lower your temp. And you don't want this to go too long, but you don't want to cause your berries to brown up on you. So you want to kind of break them down and then you want to bring it up to a simmer again. And then once it comes up to a simmer, you're going to go ahead and add your cornstarch. And once it begins to simmer, stir in your cornstarch and let that simmer just until thickened. And that should do it. Okay, then you're going to put it into a nice, strain it. You want to get out those raspberry seeds, so just strain it really good. Alright, and once you get all of that, again, avoid any seeds, just press out all the excess. And this is what it should look like. And we'll put it in a squirt bottle so you can do any plating that you need for your cheesecake. Okay, and then once you remove it from the oven, it should be a little jiggly in the center. As you can see, it jiggles just slightly. Okay, and then this will carry over and it'll be nice and firm. So you got to let it cool down at room temperature for at least 45 minutes. Whenever possible, take it out of the pan. And then let it sit for at least 30 to 45 minutes at room temperature, and then refrigerate it overnight or anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. To unmold the cheesecake, you're going to run your knife along the edge. Just make sure that you get through that graham cracker. To unmold your cheesecake, we're gonna have a pan for you guys to use. You're gonna have a little hot water in here, and what this does is it helps to soften up the cheesecake. A lot of times it's difficult when it's cold. So what we're gonna do is we're going to place some water into the pan, place the cheesecake into that water just to kind of loosen it up. It only takes about 30 seconds, 45 seconds after you've run your knife through. Then you're going to get your cake rounds. You're going to need 2 of them, one to unmold it and then one to place it on there. So take it off. You might need to dry the bottom a little bit. After you take it off, after that, just turn it around and give it a little shake. As you can see there, then you're going to get your second round, place it on top, turn it around, and you have your cheesecake unmolded. For the spun sugar, I'm going to have 1 or 2 groups do this. You're going to need some corn syrup, water, and granulated sugar. You want to bring it up to a boil. Watch it closely. You're going to bring it up to 310 degrees Fahrenheit till it turns an amber color, and then you'll be able to make your pieces with that. Okay, so you'll be able to do different types of pieces. Okay, as you're doing this, just make sure that you don't stir too much until you start to see it to turn amber. You don't want the sugar to hit the sides or it'll crystallize. Okay, so after it gets about this amber color, this is about where you want to end it. Remember, there's carryover. So then just remove it, and you could either ice it and then you'll get some instant color, or just let it rest and then you can start to put them into your sill pad. And well, I'm gonna let this rest. Okay. As it begins to cool, you can begin making some of your pieces. So here you can just make some little designs, and what this will do, as it hits the air, it's going to harden the sugar. We'll give you some close-ups. So we'll give these, and then you can do what they call spun sugar. So you can just kind of work that in there. as you're going. We'll show you how these look as we go. So here's an example here of one. As you can see. Here's the other one I just did. You got a little piece here that you can use. Okay, to cut the cake or the cheesecake, you want to get some hot water, and this is what will give you your clean cuts. Okay, you notice if you ever cut cake, you kind of starts to pick up a lot of the cake off onto the knife. So what we're doing is we have some hot water. We're going to use our towel, and this blade should be nice and hot, so we should get a nice clean cut, as you can see. Okay, should be able to get 2 out of there. Okay, nice clean cut. So you have your cake, just check it under the light, make sure there's no fingerprints, or use latex gloves. You got your pieces here of your spun sugar. You guys will also do some whipped cream. So we'll go ahead and do our first one. Now, we're going to use rectangular, you can do rectangular plates if you want. We'll have those. Typically, if you do a round cake or a round plate, you should do a nice good cut on those. Okay, so we're going to also use a round mold, and we'll put those on rectangular plates. And then just play around with your plate presentations. Here I'm going to go, raspberry is going to be the focal. Okay, so with the raspberry, let's just throw something larger. So we'll just go something like this. Okay, you can do something like that. If you want to run your knife through it and get a little heart shape, like that. Then we can go with some whipped cream, either on top or off to the side. I'm going to go out on the top. And then we'll go ahead and use one of these pieces for garnish. So you can use something like this over the top. Actually, let's work something like here on there. Make sure you wash your strawberries. Use a garnish. We'll go ahead and cut this. If you can see this, we'll just cut it right in half. If you can see that. Split it right down the middle. And then you've got a garnish there. You can also use raspberries if you'd like. That sort of thing. So there's one example. We'll go ahead and do a round. So again, we're going to put this into the water. We have a little biscuit cutter. Okay, we'll go ahead and place this, and once you get it to that point, let it out. Adjust if necessary. So I'm going to move that over a little bit. Okay, for this one we're going to go ahead and use the vanilla sauce. Like so. And then we'll put our piece on. So we'll do something like this. Right over. And you have that presentation. So you can play around with it.